Kia ora, tēnā koutou katoa, and thank you for the welcome. It's a very busy day, so this will not be the longest speech you hear by a long shot. But we're glad to be able to join you today. And here we have the Minister for Regional Development, the Honourable Shane Jones, Minister for Trade, the Honourable Todd McClay, and then we've got the Minister for Maori Development, Tama Potaka, going that way. We've got the Associate Minister for Regional Development, Mark Patterson, and then we've got the Under-Secretary, Jenny Marcroft, and the local MP, Kirkpatrick, for the very famous name that is. From the Ngarapa Club, isn't it? Correct. That's right. Grow some of the biggest pumpkins you'll ever see. Just incredible. Anyways, back to where we were. I'll tell you a true story. Years ago, I used to play for Varsity Rugby Club in Auckland, and we came down to the East Coast one time to play here at the end of the season, a social game, and we were short one player. And so somebody said to this young Maori fella, "Will you play for us?" And he said he would. And he gets to sit out in our gear, comes outside the shed and looks at all these mates and he says, "What ho, chaps, I'm playing for varsity today." You had to be Ngāti Purua, eh? Look, we've come from the opening of this new breakwater up here. Oh, it's gone. It was there before. That's it. As many of you know, this project is transforming the harbour mouth to enable all weather and all tide access to offshore farming, marine farming that is, for the growing agriculture industry in Aporiki. One of the sad things, I suppose, I know if you're looking from the outside, is you've got this incredible product. It is the biggest, largest indigenous export product we've got. It's called green lip mussels. It's a unique against all mussels because it has, as the American scientists, medical scientists found, got anti-cancerous properties. Now that's something massive. And we've got to ensure we get out there and maximise the sale of that and to the greatest extent, and that's why we're building the biggest mussel farm, not in New Zealand, not in Australasia, but the biggest mussel farm in the world. But people, if I can make a request, get out there and start singing your praises. You ever seen a church survive 5 minutes when they don't get up and sing the hymns properly? Well, same goes for you. This goes for the provinces all around New Zealand. Our hope is dependent upon your success. And that's why we're going to make the effort to get out there and ensure that that is understood, both in the Beehive and in Treasury, but also understood by Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, and dare I say it, Dunedin. We're proud to see this project come to fruition. It was the aspiration of the Provincial Growth Fund. And I just want to remind you sometimes that when we were talking about that Provincial Growth Fund, we heard these people shouting out there was a slush fund. A slush fund. How many people from the provinces actually wrote a letter and said, "That's crap," or "That's not fair," or rang up the talkback show? You can't just sit back and hope that things will go all right. Look, why they were saying that was because they couldn't give a rat's about the provinces. And yet when COVID came, we all found out big time how important the provinces were. That's the only thing that got us through it. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention the mayors that are here. All of you, congratulations on your new offices and your new jobs. I know it's not easy out there being a mayor, but if we can help in any way, we should. Our investment in the harbour project has unlocked agricultural potential and has created employment opportunities. But we're not here just to come down to the Bay of Plenty to celebrate Oporiki's success. We're here to talk about the growth priorities for the whole Bay of Plenty region. The purpose of today's summit, the current economic climate, as you know, is extraordinarily difficult. New Zealand households and businesses are finding it real tough, as was foreseeable. We're seeing this in the news and in the data, and the cost of living for an average New Zealand household increased 5.4% in the 12 months to June of just this year alone. Meanwhile, inflation, as measured by the Consumer Price Index, was 3.3% in the 12 months. It's coming down, but it's going to take us longer to turn this economy around than some might have thought. These regional growth summits have been set up as a forum for businesses, industry and key regional stakeholders to engage with the government on how your regions are faring, your region's priorities align, and how we can work together to grow regional economies. Lifting New Zealand's economic performance is the government's top priority. Ensuring we have efficient and resilient infrastructure that enables growth and connectivity in our regions is the key to achieving this. Today is a chance to hear your priorities, your aspirations and your beliefs and opportunities for the Bay of Plenty region. It is a fast-growing region with both GDP and population rising. We're here today to talk about central government and the regional priorities and where they might align, how we can get the most out of our strategic investments and where there are opportunities for us to work together. We'd like to start off today by talking about the priorities for central government and the importance of the regions in building and rebuilding New Zealand's economy. We have 5 pillars to our plan. The first is building infrastructure for growth and resilience. We all know New Zealand has long-standing infrastructure problems. A 2021 Infrastructure Commission report estimated New Zealand's public infrastructure deficit to be approximately $104 billion. In some ways, we've got to admit we lost our mojo. Under the Seddon government of the 70s, or Seddon of the 1870s, that is, to the 1880s, they built more railways in 10 years than we did for the next 130 years. They only had horse and cart. See what's going wrong here? We're not doing as much as we've done or should do for our infrastructure. And that figure of infrastructure costs going forward jumps to 210 billion. 210 billion over the next 30 years. Public infrastructure investment, particularly in the regions, is not happening at the scale needed to make a noticeable difference in New Zealand's productivity and resilience. You'll be aware that the severe weather events of 2023 had a significant impact on the several North Island regions, including here in the Bay of Plenty. You had 3,600 homes lost their power. A bridge was washed away at Te Puke. State Highway 29 of the Kaimai Ranges, of all places, was closed. And you also had numerous road and bridge washouts, damage to the rail network, and a train derailed also at Te Puke. These events were a huge stress for the community, as well as causing significant damage, costs and loss of assets, resulting in lost productivity and disruption to business operations. Now, you'll be aware of the Regional Infrastructure Fund, which was agreed in the last coalition talks between National and New Zealand First, to invest $1.2 billion into regional infrastructure, and the fund opened for applications on 1 July. Next time you see somebody going on about it, you write them a letter, will you? Tell them to take their wealthy Auckland's leafy suburbs view somewhere else. Or you can tell them to stick it if you like, but the truth is, you've got to defend yourselves. My colleague, the Honourable Shane Jones, will talk about the detail of the Regional Infrastructure Fund shortly, but we would like to highlight the recent announcement of government support from the fund. This was toward 42 priority projects previously identified by local government in their Before the Deluge 2.0 co-investment business case for flood management. I think I'll let Shane tell you all the rest, frankly. I'm just here to say that we need to be listening far more to New Zealand, or constructive, positive New Zealand, because this is still a country with all its difficulties, all its problems, and all its distance. New Zealand has still got a tremendous chance of coming back and being restored to the place it once was, number 1 or number 2 in the world. People forget just how incredible New Zealand's history was, with less than half the population. There we were, building a country the size of the UK with every modern facility, universities, all sorts of hospitals. We were building all that in a country the size of the UK, but only with a population the size of Manchester. It's an incredible achievement, but we've lost our mojo in recent times, and we've got to get it back real fast. And there's no better place to start that than out here in the provinces of this country. All the best.